So something we have been looking for has been confirmed here yesterday. I'm going to show it to you in this video. But before that, let's take a look at our trading ranges. And if you remember, we had the bottom of our range here, which is about 414. And we seem to have some sort of confirmation to establish the top of the range here around 431 and 432. Now remember, in yesterday's video, we were looking out for confirmation right here, and I managed to short the market 2 days ago because we were looking out for this area here, and we had some sort of confirmation to short from the market here. And I included the analysis right here where we saw this at 16th of August at about 224 when we noticed this reversal pattern at the top of the range. Now on the day itself, we were looking out for the top of the range. So that's something we were looking out for because we established between pink 430 and yellow 432 will be a very, very weak level here. And we were looking out for this purple 431 on that day itself, right? We talked specifically about this line, right? You can watch the video of that day's pre-trade analysis. And once we managed to catch the top, we were looking for some sort of confirmation that this should be the top, or at least we are able to cover our trade midway. So yesterday we were mentioning how we should be looking out for a possible mid-range right here, the middle of the range, the secondary range support. We were identifying this orange 424 right here, and true enough, we bounced off this orange 424 here. We had a very beautiful doji right here in the 5-minute chart. If you take a look at this doji, have I reminded members multiple times that it has happened every day in August. So another video right here, this indicator happened every day in August. Right here, this one, right? And it was at the bottom of the buying channel, which we managed to chart because we identified the algorithmic selling, and it's at this base here, orange 424, which we were looking out for, right? Which was at this mid-range that we were also looking out for. This was also in yesterday's video. And once we broke out of this selling channel, right, we knew that it would have some form of reversal. And it's about here that I bought some calls to cover my short position from the day before, where I shorted the market here, right, where we had the analysis where I shorted the market from this point here. So once I had my calls that are covered here, now I was able to sell my remaining calls that I have covered right here. So I bought calls here, 412 calls and 414 calls. Now I had 414 calls that were expiring this Friday, so I managed to sell them for a profit. They were up quite a bit of money since then, because they've been in the money since we caught this play here as well. Now we also managed to catch the bottom of this trade here, and this was where I bought my calls as well. These two areas here where we established the bottom of the trading range, that was quite important. So I managed to cash out these calls. I managed to grab fresh calls here to protect my short, which I'm planning for this to be top of the trading range and to hope to ride it out down. So I covered this strategy in this video here. You can watch it, and I've been doing this for months in this Discord server, and you've seen me doing it almost every week. It's stress-free. You can scale this way, so it's a really good strategy that you can use, and I'm explaining it here now because it's, to me, one of the most stress-free ways to continue to hedge your positions. And if you're looking to scale in your trading profits, this must be the way you day trade. You must cover your positions, both top and bottom. It's about risk management. It's about understanding trading ranges. That's very important. It's about looking for confirmations before you jump in trade or to protect your trades. And let's take a look at today, because we may not be out of the woods yet. We still need confirmation that this is the top. But because of a move down like this, right, because this happened, that we moved down one notch down to the mid-range of our trading range, I managed to cover my trade, and I'm completely stress-free now, right? My trades are covered, and I already took some profits off the market. Anything now is just a bonus. So if you're looking to scale your trading, you're looking to make 5 figures, 6 figures, this is the way to do it. Now stick around, it will take time for you, but it's good that you familiarize yourself with, as I do it regularly on the Discord server, right? But focus, if you have a small account, focus on good entries for now, focus on taking decisive profits, focus on risk management, right? While you understand all these more advanced concepts of trading ranges, of covering your positions, of understanding confirmations, of analyzing the markets and know how these imbalances work on a macro level. Now, it's two different ball games. Now, one is understanding the imbalances within the scalping range, where you take a trade and you take quick profits, and another is to understand the macro range, the macro structure, how the market moves according to market catalysts, and also behaviors of buyers and sellers on a macro level. And that, I think, can be best categorized in terms of trading ranges and macro structure. So all my analysis are in the Discord channel here. All my videos are in the YouTube. You can trace it back if you want to, the dates that I made analysis. I also provide end of day trading review right of all the trade analysis that I made of the day, including what was talked about in the daily brief videos. Now remember, we were looking out for confirmation. Yesterday's video, I was assuming that this was the top of the range and we were looking out for confirmation, right? So remember, we were looking out for confirmation here, and we got a head and shoulders here, and we were also looking out for confirmation on the selling channel. Now take a look. Do you see that selling channel? Let me chart it out for you. Now here you go. Perfect selling channel, right? So a selling channel has already been formed, right? And we have strong defense off the top of this range here, and that's a very strong confirmation of the selling channel here. Now we also have the bottom confirmation here from this selling channel, but that's something you have to also pay attention to, because remember, I was mentioning how the bulls are still showing their tail. And from our previous buying channel, you see that there still is systematic buying. So now there is a conflict between systematic selling and systematic buying, and we are caught in the middle of it. Now remember the last time we were caught in between a selling and buying channel? Yeah, just a couple of days ago, right here, right? We had a selling channel here, we also had a buying channel. Now look at that kind of chop. Now, this is just crazy chop, right? We had another chop here as well. So should expect some chop today, right, in between the selling and the buying channel, and we'll see who will prevail, right? It happened a couple of days ago and you see all these crazy wicks, right? But in this case, the buying channel prevailed because it bounced off all these strong bottom wicks and we pushed us out of that selling channel. You see that here, and that brought us to the rally up the way to the top here. So now once again, we established a selling channel, right? And we've broken out of our higher high, higher low, and we've started to flag. So on a macro chart, we have started to see some sort of flagging, right? It could still be a bull flag if we form a very strong support level. So we want to pay attention to what kind of support level may be holding this bull flag, even when we follow the selling channel. So remember, if we see something like this, if orange holds really tight and we see the sellers are diminishing as they trade at a lower to lower price, then we may see that this will form a bull flag and push up. So this can still happen, so we must be very careful about this, right? And so today we probably will see a big tussle in between the selling and the buying channel right here in this zone here. That is a possibility. If not, we will see that this forms a strong support and we may push up if this is a bull flag, or we will see that the selling channel will be respected as we continue to head down. Now, how do we then break down and break through this very strong support level here? And a few ways you want to take a look, right? Yesterday we caught the top here. Now I knew that the minutes were bearish, right? It was hawkish, it was bearish, it was just bad news all over, even though the market started rallying like this here, right? So I was trying to get puts as much as possible, right? But 3 times the charm, right? I got stopped twice, premature puts twice, but this, we knew we had to short this right at this time here, about 250, right, where we saw these doji here, rejection of this orange level. We take a look at 30-minute chart, right now. This, we just have to short it. This is weakness of a very major level, and this was what we were looking out for yesterday, right? We were looking out for this head and shoulder pattern. It adheres to that selling channel that we were also looking out for, so we had to short this, right? And we mentioned it yesterday. Now I was stopped twice, right? I knew the report was hawkish, right? We just needed market time to digest the news. So I got stopped out twice, but we still had an opportunity to short here. So this technically was a great place to short. And we see some weakness here now. Now, as we continue to head down, we also see that there is a possibility now that we want to see some flagging here to break down this level before we see some more flagging here to break down this level. So all these are very beautiful indicators of how a selling channel will form. So there will be some flagging here. We want to see at which support will the bulls be holding. Will it be this orange, or will this be this buying channel here? Or we form a new buying channel again as we head up? But if we do that, then we are tending down on the selling channel. We could be flagging also. So on the macro channel, if you remember, I mentioned how, right, we could always still be flagging, right? We form way out. We want to see where our trading ranges are. And we could flag out as well, so that's also a possibility. We could even flag all the way down to 410, 412. That was the end of our trading range here before we head up. So that's also a possible structure, right? We can also have a very beautiful flag like this. It's also very possible. So now we have to identify where could the bottom or the support level be. Right now, we identified about 424 orange. That's the mid-range here, right? We have also had 414 here. That was at the bottom of the range that we have caught on at the bottom here. So identify your trading range on the macro level, while on the micro level, you try to understand, right, what are the possible channels that we want to play. Now, for today, pay attention to the support levels, right? Pay attention to the selling channels, right? So we should be expecting some resistance of yellow here, right? We open, right? We should follow and adhere to this selling channel. So look out for this yellow and pink area here. This should be a strong resistance. We should head down from here, right? So there, right, we should be looking out for some sort of shoulder here as well, right? If we open any lower, it could be here as well, right? So we're looking out for that right shoulder where the sellers start to flag and push down. Now we adhere to a very strong support here, right? So we're looking for some possible support here, right? So we buy calls here. Maybe we'll see the microstructure again on the 5 minute and 1 minute before taking a trade. And don't forget, right, we may see some descending wedge and we may pull up. So pay attention how we may be forming a bull flag. It's possible while we adhere to this selling channel. But remember, once we're caught in between the buying and the selling channel, the chop can be quite unsettling. This is a very good reminder here. So you want to be taking decisive profits if possible. Especially if we're expecting this to be the middle of the range, there may be very strong support here. Right, but now that the FOMC meeting minutes are out, right, there is some sort of clarity and the market has chosen its direction down, right? We had a very strong rejection here, but it's not over yet. We still have to be very careful because we're still caught in between the two channels. Always remember that. So expect some sort of flagging until we break through. Right, we break through and the selling channel prevails, then look out for possible support that may bring us back up. But in between then, this could be a strong support now. This is a strong resistance. This is a strong resistance here. Now, I don't think we will come back to this level, but if we do, we're ready. Right, this is also possible strong resistance because we're looking out for this head and shoulder pattern here. We're looking out for this as a support because I think we may start flagging here as well. Look out for the channels. If we return back to a buying channel, this may be a very strong level here, including the selling channel as well. So look out for 30-minute where you see all the selling channels. Possibly that could be our resistance levels, especially if it coincides with all the major levels here. So you notice, for example, how this selling channel here coincides with this orange level here, which coincides with also our head and shoulder pattern here, right at this rejection zone here. This is where we found our doji. And that's why we had the conviction, right, to be able to take puts here to short the market here. right? So look out for confirmations like that from the analysis, and once you understand what to look out for, it will not be that hard to have confirmations to take trades. But most importantly, you have to depend on microstructures on your 5-minute and 1-minute chart. Now you want to be getting involved, protect the trade, and see if the sellers follow up from the macro imbalances. So let's see if this is the top of the range. Now if you missed the top of the range, we're not too far off, we're just 6 points off, right? So if this really is the end of the bear market rally, you'll want to be starting to short here on longer term positions. But be careful of flags here. You must always protect your trades, especially if they're larger contracts. If you're shorting, assuming that this is the top of the range, right, you have to be covering your shorts. You have to be. Use trading ranges to help you cover your shorts, right? So we're not too far off yet. We're only just 6 points away, right? If we are really heading down, remember, we're just one bad news away. We have the PCE report next week here. We have CPI report here. We have FOMC here, right? We do head down. That's a long way down. So you may want to be looking to short here, but use your trading range and find ways to protect now. Now we are in the middle of the range right now. So be careful, always look out for some sort of confirmation from now, right? What do I mean by middle of the range, right? This is the bottom of the range. This is the top of the range. Look, we're literally in the middle of the range. So you want to be careful when you're shorting here. Make sure you have more confirmation before you do so. Otherwise, you'll be exposed. You have no chance to protect it. So we'll see how it goes, right? I'll still be providing more analysis along the way, doing the live trading analysis of the Discord, right? So we're ready. Right, whatever the market throws at us, we're ready to take our profits and log in, take profits, log out, and call it a day. Enjoy your day. Stress-free trading. That's what you want to be achieving. Right, trading is enjoyable. Make sure you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. See you closer to opening bell. Thank you very much.